Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Hook. My name is Jeff Lowe, along with my co-host.
I'm Keith Butler. How's everybody doing? Detroit and the world. We're here today at the Six Hole Studio. We're glad you're here with us. And, Jeff, it's another beautiful day at the golf course.
Yes.
But it's looking a little cloudy out there today.
And I'm still looking for that drive that I just hit, that long drive, you know?
Yeah, and you're going to have to wake up, Jeff, because that's a dream that you've been having for a long time.
Hey, Steph Curry hit a hole-in-one, you know?
We can't worry about that. But you know what, Jeff? You brought a very, very interesting guest today.
Yes.
Because we are here at the Six Hole Studio, which is on the Detroit golf course.
Yes.
And our guest kind of fits the bill.
Yeah,
Would
absolutely.
you make the introduction?
Well,
please?
hey, he's no stranger to the sports scene around Detroit. And I just want to say, first of all, congratulations. And it's an honor to talk to this local sports guy. He has just been inducted into the African American Hall of Fame, the Golf Hall of Fame.
Wow.
I'd like to welcome to the show Mr. Lindsey Mason. Mason, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. I appreciate you having me on the show this afternoon.
Oh, we appreciate you being here. So how you doing today, Mr. Mason?
I'm having a ball. I'm out here at the my golf course that I teach out of, which is Cherry Creek Golf Club, which is located in Shelby Township, Michigan.
Okay.
And getting ready for my PGA Junior League. We got about close to 100 kids coming out this afternoon to play 9 holes of golf and compete this afternoon.
Wow.
Lindsey, let's rewind your resume a little bit, your history.
Yeah, let's find out about you.
Tell us how. I mean, you got into golf, and you know, everybody says Tiger Woods, everybody says Lee Elder, you know, black golfers, and the number of black golfers. It's not that many, but tell us how you got into golf and also got nominated for the African American Hall of Fame, Golf Hall of Fame.
Well, it's definitely, let me just say this, it's definitely an honor for me to be elected to African American Golfers Hall of Fame. And the induction took place May 28th in West Palm Beach, Florida. Very excited about it, very honored. But my golf career started at Country Club of Detroit in Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan. Led there and went on to Detroit Golf Club, where I became a golf professional under the apprenticeship program under John Traub, who was the PGA golf professional at that time, and just basically just worked my way through the ranks from Oakland Hills Country Club to Turnberry Island, which is in South Florida, and got into the management side of operating a number of golf clubs in the city of Detroit, meaning Palmer Park Golf Course, which is now closed, and also one of the toughest golf courses in the city of Detroit, which was Rogale Golf Club, which is now closed also. And so, but my career, I've been a golf professional and now classified as an international PGA member. I have been, I guess, playing and teaching the game of golf in metropolitan Detroit for over 36 years this season.
Wow. What was it like when you first started playing golf? How old were you, and what was the what should I say, the conditions like for a young black player?
Well, I mean, I can only speak for me personally. I haven't had any issues per se when learning the game of golf, because I came through the ranks of being a golf caddy. And so I learned the ins and outs of the total business, meaning from carrying a bag, from teaching the game of golf, managing golf courses, outside services, managing food and beverage, managing a cart fleet, and also learning the equipment from a maintenance side. I know how to run golf equipment meaning tee mowers, cutting greens, cutting fairways, and rough board. And so I wanted to learn the total package from a management standpoint to give me an overall picture of the business.
Oh, okay. So you weren't just the typical Bagger Vance, like the caddy that Will Smith played. You went from ground to
No, sir.
Floor, from the basement to the top.
Yeah, I learned it from the bottom up.
Yeah,
and I was taught by the best, and it's just something that I wanted to do. At that time, you didn't have a lot of black professionals teaching the game. You had the late Ben Davis in this region, who was one of my mentors, and I learned a lot from him, and kind of wanted to follow in the career steps of teaching the game of golf. Never really got into it as far as regularly playing on the PGA Tour, but I've worked with some of the top students in the metropolitan area. Got quite a few students on golf scholarships, playing the game of golf, and that's what motivates me.
Couple quick questions. First of all, what does it take to get on the PGA Tour, and why is it a good game for people to play? You know, blacks, whites, Asians, anybody who feels like playing. To me, I've hit a couple of balls, you know, and I've just not really gotten into it. You know,
and he lives on a golf course, mind you.
Yeah, well, I can't afford I can live on it. I can't afford to be a member.
Right here at the Detroit Golf Club, where we have the Quicken Loans tournament. His backyard is right there.
I can't afford to play on it, Jeff. But yeah, it's such a difficult game. So
it is, and you're talking about a Donald Ross Championship golf course. I was there when the late Mayor Coleman A. Young joined as a member, and that was in 1986.
Yeah, first
Coleman,
member, wasn't it?
Right, and Coleman, he was the first black member. But Coleman was not a golfer. But at that time, I believe he made a statement there was nowhere in the city of Detroit that he could not go. And so he broke the barrier as far as black memberships at Detroit Golf Club.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now, what does it take to qualify and to get on the PGA? You know, I've been lucky enough to go over here and watch the Rocket Mortgage Classic, as Mr. Lowe has kindly mentioned. But what does it take to become to qualify for that? Do you have to play all year, or?
You have to attend what we call a qualifying school, and so you play in certain events that could be up to, I believe, maybe 6 events to qualify to shoot a certain certain number, and then after that, if you reach that particular plateau, you will receive your PGA Tour card. And so you have many tours leading up to that qualifying school. And if you don't retain your tour card, you have what I believe is the Corn Ferry Tour that is available right now. You go on to play on that. You might win a couple of events that will qualify you again to receive your PGA Tour card.
Do you see golf evolving and changing and being more receptive to African Americans and young African Americans? Or, I mean, all they can say now is just Tiger Woods and a couple other young men who play on the tour. But do you see it being more receptive to African Americans, or do you see more young or more youth, like you're doing a program right now? But do you see more young people getting into golf now?
I would say yes, but I'm of the mindset you have to pay for what they want, and so golf is one of those elite games that it takes some money. As far as golf equipment, it takes some money for golf instruction to play it. It takes money to actually play on different golf courses. And so, but to offset some of that cost, there are some scholarship opportunities available. It just depends on, just like any other sport, you have to practice, and more practice. When I was younger, I practiced every day. My goal was to hit at least 3,000 balls a day. And so I practiced anywhere between 6 to 8 hours a day every day for a number of years. I did that for a number of years. And so, well, if I had access to a golf course, to go to the golf course and hit some balls, or I used to save golf balls because I was a golf caddy, and I used to walk to my neighborhood school at that time and just chip balls all day, sun up to sundown, to work on my craft.
Yeah, but like in Detroit, like you said, as Terry Foster, an old on-air personality, called it, Ebony Hills is closed down now. When I say Ebony Hills, I'm talking about Palmer Park. Because
Right.
it was generally, a lot of black clientele. But with parks like Rogel and Palmer Park closed down, where can people go, the youth, where can they go to put in 3,000 shots? I mean, that's a lot, but where can they go?
Yeah, it is a lot. I mean, you still have, the city of Detroit right now, if you're talking about city of Detroit,
Yeah.
the city of Detroit right now has, I believe, 3 golf courses. You have Chandler Park on the east side of Detroit. You have Rouge Park, which is on the west side of Detroit. And you have Rackham, which is located in the city of Huntington Woods. City of Detroit still owns that property, but it is managed by an outside agency, all 3 properties. And so I would recommend individuals to look into either trying to work at a golf course. I mean, you got a lot of different job opportunities available in golf besides just playing, from the maintenance side and also working in the clubhouse itself. That gives one the opportunity to get out there on the golf course and play.
When my daughter was in high school, I put a golf club in her hand.
And she hit you with it.
No. Actually, it benefited her later in life because in her profession, she ended up having to work a golf tournament in California. And she was selected to go out there, and she knew some of the nuances of the game. And so, and it helped her later in life. And that's a plus. And so, Lindsey, tell me about the opportunities, not actually playing the game, but I know you mentioned some of them just a few seconds ago about the maintenance and all that good stuff. But some of the other opportunities.
What other opportunities?
Yeah.
I mean, you have college, you have college scholarship opportunities, and one of the problems as it relates to that, you don't have a lot of inner city youth that are going after the scholarship.
Oh, okay.
Now, why is that?
But the opportunity is there.
So why is that?
In golf.
Is that because they don't know about it? It's not open. They're not exposed to it. People aren't telling them about it.
Well,
they're just not that interested.
It's either, I would say, I'm not going to say they don't know about it, because some golf high schools in Detroit, and I know, Detroit public schools have their issues as it relates to, different sports. And golf is not one of those sports that's going to make you a whole lot of money for the district.
Right.
But it can enhance the district down the road. So, but you have programs like Hollywood Golf. You have Midnight Golf program. I believe you still have First Tee of Detroit, which is still around, that is trying to expose youth to the game of golf, that will possibly give them the opportunity again to receive some of those scholarship dollars.
So, Lindsey, what makes golf such a fun game? I mean, for me, my thing is bowling, football, maybe a little bit basketball. But what makes golf? Yeah, very little. But what makes golf such a fun game? I come out here and I can watch people, out my windows or off my back porch and watch them play. They seem to enjoy it. But man, walking those holes and chasing that little white ball, man.
It's a beautiful thing. This is 2023, and golf again. Back in 2020, I believe that's when COVID hit, unfortunately. But it made the game of golf extended visually because people were looking for something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so the state was basically shut down, but people wanted to get outside. Golf is one of those individual games that
Mm-hmm.
you can social distance and you can still social distance. And it just kind of enhanced the overall sport. And so operators now, green fees are up. It's hard to get a tee time at certain golf courses. And I mean, it's just one of those games now that is very, very, very popular.
So golf can kind of thank its resurgence and its recent growth to COVID in a way, huh?
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, listen.
Wow.
I got an old set of golf clubs, and I guess they go from
They're rusty too.
from one to
A
what?
rusty old set of golf clubs.
You haven't even seen my clubs, Jeff, so, but they are kind of beat up. But talk about the different clubs and the purposes of the different clubs. We know about the putter, and we know about the big driver, but what about the clubs in between? When do you know how to use? When do you know when to use them? And yeah, basically that's it. When do you know when to use them?
Well, I mean, once you tee off, and everybody's yardage is different when it comes to the game of golf, meaning men and women and kids. And so once you initially tee off and get your golf ball somewhere in the middle of the fairway, your next club could be some type of iron to hit your second shot into the green. So whether if that's a 5-iron, the lower the number, the further the distance. The lower the number, the further the distance.
Oh.
And so you're trying to get on the green, possibly to have the opportunity to go after what we call a birdie putt. And so if you're on a par 5, par 3, par 4, you're trying to beat the golf course. That is the purpose. You're trying to get the least amount of strokes as possible in the game of golf. You're trying to beat the golf course.
Okay, you mentioned the birdie. I've heard about a birdie, and eagle, falcon, dragon. I don't know what they're called, but
and so if I'm on a par 4, if the golf course is giving me 4 strokes, and I get on the green in 2, I have the opportunity to go for a birdie, which will be number 3. And so if from me putting on the green and my ball goes directly in the cup, that will give me a birdie, right? If I'm on a par 3, and I believe you mentioned Steph Curry, who had a hole-in-one last week.
Yeah.
If you're on a par 3 and you get the ball in the hole, you hit your shot, and the ball rolls directly in the cup, that's called an ace, A-C-E, or a hole-in-one.
okay.
I've had one hole-in-one in my golf career,
Wow.
2008 and 2008, 9/11, 2008, and that's a hard. I mean, it's a luck shot. You got to play enough golf, to have the opportunity to even, get the ball in the hole. But it's a special skill set, and it's some luck involved with that as well.
What track was that? What track were you on when you hit that?
That was at Rogale Golf Course on
Okay.
home 8. Rogale was the toughest golf course in the city of Detroit.
Now I always hear Rouge is one of the toughest courses in Detroit.
Rouge is a tough golf course, but Rouge had nothing on Rogale. People were afraid to play Rogale Golf Course.
Okay, so what makes the golf course hard? I mean, they got 9 to 18 holes. You just hitting the ball toward a hole. What's so difficult about it?
Well, Rogale Golf Club at that time, you had heels, and also you had blind shots.
Oh, okay.
And so you had heel and blind shots. So your aim had to be precise. You could be aiming one way, thinking you're aiming properly, and your ball ends up in the woods because you're trying to hit at a target. But if you get off target when it came to Rogale, you're in the wood, and it was very narrow, very hilly.
Okay, well, that could be any course for me because I generally put a lot of balls in the woods when I go.
It's still
Right.
balls in the woods that he hadn't found yet. But anyway.
Not looking for him, Jeff. Not looking for him.
But the same architect that designed Detroit Golf Club 36 holes was the same architect, which is Donald Ross, that designed Rogale Golf Club, Oakland Hills, and a few others in Metro Detroit.
Oh, okay. What do you
Rogale
think?
Golf Club was Rogale was the sister course to
Uh-huh.
Oakland Hills.
Oh, what do
Yes.
you think about this Rocket Mortgage golf tournament? What are your thoughts on it? It's one of the
Well,
Why is it important for the city of Detroit to have this?
it's important. Well, it's important to have it locally in the city because it gives individuals the opportunity to attend a PGA Tour event right in the heart of the city, which possibly might not have that opportunity. And fortunately, I had the opportunity to be the host golf professional for the sponsors event. And while the tournament was going on, I was on hole number 12 in one of those nice, beautiful homes in the backyard teaching the game of golf for the 4 days while the tournament was going on. This was my second year doing that and was asked to come back for 2023, 2024. So very good event, very well attended, and one of the favorites, Ricky Fowler, had the opportunity to win the tournament, and he won it. So it was good. It was good.
Okay, now I know when they first started it, I think they had a contract for like 4 years. Do you see it going, becoming just a annual thing now? Because you're talking about coming
Well,
back for 2024.
I believe they just renewed it for another additional 4 or 5 years. They did that, so I believe they're already in the first year of that new agreement.
Okay, so it's doing pretty well then, because they're getting good turnout, getting good response. So I guess if it wasn't,
Exactly.
then they wouldn't have continued it. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, it's doing well. It's
Well-
doing well. And the golf course, Detroit Golf Club, which is my former club, does an excellent job. The golf course was in excellent shape, and we have a great staff over there, great membership, and so for them to host that event in the city, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know when they first did it some years ago, I was in my front yard doing some yard work. I look up and there's a big shallow over me. It's the Goodyear blimp.
Right.
And so, I'm like, wow, this is really cool. It's really happening here. So I go inside, I turn on the TV, and I'm looking at it, and they're talking about it, but I have never really walked the course. So it looked like a whole different area. I didn't know this course had water traps and stuff like that on it. So
yes, it does.
I was totally surprised and impressed. So yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite course, and what's the best course you've ever played on? And where have you played? Some of the places.
Well, man, it's been. I mean, again, the club that I started at, Detroit Golf Club. Well, excuse me, Country Club of Detroit, which is in Grosse Pointe Farms. Very historical. A lot of I call it old money. I've had the opportunity to caddy for him, the late William Clay Ford, him and his wife Martha Firestone Ford. A lot of the Ford family, Firestone family, the Fisher family, and then moving over to the younger club, which is Detroit Golf Club. My career has been great, but one of the other great clubs that the clubhouse burned down over a year ago now, which is Oakland Hill Country Club. It's beautiful. I mean, very tough golf course. The greens very hilly, and you got to be able to keep your golf ball in play. And so that's what I stress when I'm teaching golf course management. Everything is not so much about distance, but you got to be able to hit shots and be accurate when you're going after the flag.
Okay.
Where do you see the future of golf? When you look down the road in the very distant future of golf, where do you see it for young African Americans and just the sport itself?
I would say for any, and I will advise, including my own, and I have, for any young individual that is looking for an opportunity in this particular business, the game of golf, I mean, you got to be able to put some work in it. It's not just going to come to you. You got to put some work in, get educated, and practice, and more practice. That's what it is. But the opportunity is there. So, well, if you're going into the maintenance side, there's opportunity for the learning how to grow grass, maintaining equipment. job opportunity is there. It just depends on, what you want to get out of the game itself. And if you want to make a career choice, the opportunity is there again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, coming from strictly a sports point of view, why golf instead of football, basketball, polo, tennis, volleyball, hockey? Why golf?
I would say because when you compare it to other sports, golf you can play from now until, as long as you got some flexibility, till you're 100. I mean, I got some students that are still taking golf lessons, and they're in their 90s and still trying to get better. They're not trying to sit down. They're trying to get to the golf course. They don't necessarily want to hit it long, but if they got some flexibility, they still trying to beat the players that they play around with.
Right. Well, hey, you've done real well with my golf swing. The one lesson that I had that you gave me, it was very good. Do you recall that? Do you recall that?
I do, and I appreciate that.
Wait a minute. How long ago was that? About 70 years ago? Because when have you even picked up a golf club?
Wow.
Well, I got back problems now, so
we all do. But so earlier today, you in the program, you mentioned this class you're holding for like 100 kids. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
How they get involved? How can people find out to reach you and so forth like that?
Right. They can always reach me through Mason Golf and Golf Clinic, Mason Golf and Golf Clinic, or you can just Google my name, Golf Pro Lindsey Mason III, or I'm the head golf professional of Cherry Creek Golf Club, which is located, not Cherry Creek. I'm the head golf pro of C.J. Barrymore's, which is located in Clinton Township. That's an indoor-outdoor golf dome driving range facility, and also teaching professional here at Cherry Creek Golf Club. But my cell number is area code 313-633-5904, area code 313-633-5904, Lindsey Mason III.
Lindsey, now what do you think about what they're going to do with Comerica Park when the Tigers are not in town, and they're going to have kind of like a top golf setup?
Well, I signed up for the registration, so I'm just waiting to be notified.
Okay.
And I'll be making my way down to Comerica Park, and with my golf clubs and hit a few shots in there, and believe me, I will be ready.
Okay, you mentioned that golf is fairly expensive. For your course, what does it cost? What would somebody need to pay? And just to play golf overall, give a ballpark figure.
I would say a green fees on the weekend. If you're a weekend player, that can range anywhere between $100 on down, or if you're a senior player, that can range anywhere between $55 on down, or if you're a junior player after 18 holes or 9 holes, that can range anywhere between $20 and $25 for a junior player.
Okay, what's the equipment cost? Shoes and clubs and bags and glove and all that.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
What about the equipment cost for shoes, gloves, bags, balls, clubs?
Equipment. You want to have your own equipment, and this golf course here is awesome. I mean, this is probably the #1 golf course in Macomb County. Beautiful. Everything. We have a state-of-the-art practice facility, full service driving range, chipping area, sand traps, putting greens. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, very accessible.
But what should somebody expect to shell out to get started for their equipment? How much is a bag of clubs costing? Shoes.
I would say for starter set's probably going to range you anywhere between. I would say a minimum of a starter set probably $500.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Now, one last question. Talk about the different kind of clubs: the graphite, steel, aluminum. What are they made out of now? Which ones are better, or does it really matter?
You have graphite shafts, which are going to be lighter. You have regular steel shaft, which is going to be a regular shaft, and as far as clubs, you want to look into either the brand. I mean, you got Callaway's clubs, tailor-made. It all depends on, how much money you want to spend.
And what you like, huh?
And what you like, correct.
Okay. So what do you use?
Right now, I play Callaway's and I play Taylor.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Lindsey, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the hook. And again, congratulations to you on being inducted into the African American Golf Hall of Fame. And hey, I need more lessons, man. You got to hook me up, man. I got to get.
Man, you just call me and just call me or Google me or email me, and we will take care of you. But I'm asking, especially for the youth, you want to get involved in the game of golf. This is a growing game, and scholarship opportunities. Believe me, you want to get into it.
All right. Thank you, Lindsey. Thank you all for listening to The Hook. We hope you enjoyed our guest today. I'm Keith Butler.
I'm Jeff Lowe.
And we'll see you next time on The Hook.